Good morning children. Welcome back to English online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. I hope you all are doing great and staying safe at home. Yes? So shall we start our today's session? Okay. So we already started with chapter 6, verbs, and we discussed what are verbs and its main classification, main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Today we'll deal with a new topic, subject-verb agreement from the same chapter. So before moving to the subject-verb agreement, let's have a recap of what we have studied in our previous class. So children, what are words? Verbs are words that denote action. For example, read, write, jump, play, swim, etc. All these are verbs. The verb also tells us what someone or something is, the condition of the subject. It also tells what is possessed by the subject, what the subject owns. Then we also dealt with the classification of verbs, main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Main verbs, as we said just now, are mostly action words, just like swim, run, play, eat, drink, etc. All these are main verbs. Now auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are also called as helping verbs. They help the main verb in the sentences. And we told that it is again divided into two, primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries consist of be forms of verb such as is, am, are, was and were. Then we have forms of verb, have, has and had, do forms of verb, do, does and did. And we also discussed modal auxiliaries like will, would, shall, should, may, might, can, could, dare, must, need, ought to. All these are modal auxiliaries. And you will study about modal auxiliaries in detail in the next chapter. So now let's move to a new topic, subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement is also known by the name concord. It's also known as concord. So children, what is a subject? We have already discussed in our previous class. Still, let's revise it. So what is a subject? I'll give you some examples. We'll start with some examples. Then you will get a better understanding. For example, the students have done the exercise. Here, which is the subject, children? It is the students. So how can you identify subject in a sentence? You can ask who or what to the verb. As now you are thorough with the topic verbs, you can ask who or what to the verb. So when you ask who or what to the verb, you'll get the answer to the subject. So who have done the exercise? It is the students. So the students is the subject in this sentence. Otherwise, just see who is the doer of the action in a sentence. Here, who is the doer? Who is doing the action? It is the students. Or else, you can see what the sentence is talking about. Here, the sentence is talking about the students. So, the students is the subject. Let me give you some more examples. Mother is preparing the breakfast. Here, which is the subject, children? It is mother. Who is preparing? Mother is preparing. So, mother is the subject in this sentence. He has already submitted the project. Here, which is the subject, children? Who has submitted? He. He has submitted. So, he is the subject in this sentence. It is raining still. Which is the subject in this sentence, children? It is it. It is raining still. Which is the subject in this sentence, children? It is it. It is a subject in this last sentence. I hope you understood how to identify a subject in a sentence. Yes? So now let's move to the details of subject-verb agreement. The basic definition of subject-verb agreement or concord goes as such. The verb in a sentence has to agree with the subject in a sentence in number and person. Did you understand? I hope no. Yes, just imagine there are two business partners, okay? So only if these two business partners go hand in hand or have agreement, only then they can run the business successfully, right? Only if they agree with each other, only if they are in agreement with each other, they can run the business successfully. Similarly, only if the subject and the verb in a sentence has an agreement with each other, only then we can frame a correct sentence. It has to go hand in hand. It has to agree with each other. Only then we can frame a correct sentence. The verb is plural when the subject is a plural noun or pronoun. The verb is singular when the subject is a singular noun or pronoun. Did you understand? No, right? We will see some examples. For example, a cow eats grass. Cows eat grass. What is the difference in these two sentences? In one sentence I have added s to the verb. In the other sentence I have avoided that s. For a noun to be plural, we have to add s, right? If we, for example, boy, boys. Only if we add s to the boy, it becomes a plural noun. Girl, girls. Book, books. Ball, balls. Bat, bats. So only if we add s to the nouns, it becomes a plural noun. But it is just the opposite in case of verbs. If we add s to the verb, it becomes singular. So we have to avoid or delete that s in order to make a plural verb. That is the difference between these two sentences. A cow eats grass. I am referring to a single cow. So I have to use the singular verb. How can we frame a singular verb? How can we form a singular verb? By adding s at the end of the verb. And how can we make a plural verb? By avoiding that s. Just register in your mind that in order to make a plural noun, we have to add s. But in order to make a plural verb, you have to avoid that s. Just the opposite, okay? Okay. Then let's see some more examples. A child likes toys. See, I am referring to a single child, so I used likes. Only if we add s to the verb, it becomes singular. Children like toys. Like. Children is a plural subject. My uncle prefers tea to coffee. Referring to a single uncle, my uncle. My parents prefer tea to coffee. Parents means two persons, father and mother, right? So it's a plural subject, my parents. So I used only prefer. Amras plays chess every day. Here I am referring to a single boy, Amras. So I can use plays. If I say Amras and Amit play chess every day, I have to use only play because I am referring to two persons. So I have to use only play. Next, Ashwati writes stories. As Ashwati is a single girl, I have to use writes. If I say Ashwati and Nandana write stories, I am referring to two girls. So I have to use only write. I hope you understood how the verb and the subject has to agree with each other, right? Yeah. Now if we use pronouns like I, we, you, they, if we start with such pronouns, we have to use plural verbs because all these are plural subjects. I, we, you and they are plural subjects. So we have to use only plural verbs. For example, we like sweets. You like sweets. I like sweets. They like sweets. But if I use singular subjects like he, she, it, then I have to use only singular verb. How can you make a verb singular? By adding s. For example, he likes sweets. She likes sweets. And you might have gone to Parini temple, right? There you can see, if you buy laddu from there, you can see that monkeys will snatch away laddu from your hand, right? So we can say it likes sweets. So it, he and she all are singular subjects. So we use only likes. We have to add s to make it a singular verb. I hope you understood how to frame sentences by making subject and verb in agreement with each other. Now let's look at the other rules given in your text. When a collective noun is used in the singular, we use a singular verb. Means you all know what is a collective noun, right? Collective noun is a name given to a collection of things or people. And a group of fish swimming together is called a shoal of fish. If many flowers are grouped together, we can call it as a bouquet of flowers. We are considering this group as a single unit. So we have to use only singular verb after this collective noun. Look at the examples. A shoal of fish is swimming in the lake. A bouquet of flowers is lying on the table. So we didn't use are. If there are many things, we have to use are, but collective nouns are considered as a single unit. That's why we used singular verb. Look at the next rule. When a collective noun is used in the plural, we use a plural verb. Means, look at the examples. The herds of cattle graze. Here they have used herds. If it is a herd of cattle, we have to use grazes. Grazes means eat grass. Next, look at the next example. The teams were housed in hotels for the national games. Here they have used were because they have mentioned teams. If it was a team, we can say a team was housed in hotels. But we use were with plural subject. As they have mentioned it as teams, we have to use plural verb. I hope you understood the basic differences. Sometimes we consider this group as individually. We have to consider some of the members in that group. For example, a flock of sheep was straying all over the road. So here I am mentioning only some of the sheep in that group. I am not mentioning all the sheep in that group. So I am mentioning only to some of the sheep. So I can use were. A flock of sheep were straying all over the road. Another example, the audience are requested to leave by the nearest exit. Here I am not referring to all the people present in the hall, but only the audience. There might be the organizers in that hall, but I am not mentioning to the organizers, only to the audience. So I can say the audience are. Instead of using is, I can use are because I am referring to only some of the people in that group, not all the people present in the hall. I hope you understood the difference. Next rule, if we use words like someone, everyone, no one, each one, neither, either, we have to use only singular verbs. If the subject is someone, no one, each one, everyone, neither, either, we have to use only singular verbs. See the example given in your text. Everyone is busy watching the badminton match. Someone is knocking on the door. So when a sentence starts with such words, we have to use only singular verbs. Now look at the textual exercises given in your text. Exercise D, the first one, you have to circle the correct options. First one, everyone in my school are fond of the maths teacher. Here which is the correct verb? It is. You have to tick the word is because the sentence has started with everyone. So we already told that when the sentence starts with everyone, we have to use only singular verb. See the next one. Muralidharan's favorite comfort food are rice and rasam. Here I have to use only is because I am referring to a single person, only about Muralidharan's favorite food. See the next one. The crops is ruined. Here, which one will I select? I will have to select are because I am not referring to a single crop but crops. So if there are many crops, I am referring to many crops, I have to use are. Are is used with plural subject. Is used with singular person or thing, singular subjects. Next one, both the flights have been cancelled. Here which is the correct verb? It is have because I am referring to two flights, not only one flight but two flights. If it was a single flight, I can use has, but if it is a plural subject, I am referring to two flights, two aeroplanes, so I have to use have. Exercise E, all those legends that sailors, which one would be the correct? A or B? It is first one because I am referring to all those legends that sailors. So as the sentence starts with all, I have to use plural verb. How can we make the plural verb? By avoiding the S. So first one is correct. All those legends that sailors tell about sea monsters may not be just stories after all. Option A. Second one. In 1986, a huge octopus measuring 200 feet across. Which one would I select? I would select second option, B. Was washed up on the Florida beach because I am referring to a single octopus, a huge octopus. And try to do the rest of the exercises, sentences in exercise D and E. Let's come to the exercise F. In that you have to underline the incorrect ones and write the correct ones in the space provided. Look at the first one. The sport of whitewater river rafting are gaining popularity among. So here which is a wrong one? It is R. R is a wrong one. Underline R. And which verb will you use there? Instead of R, you can use is. You can write is in the space provided because we are referring to a single sport. Not many sports, but a single sport. So we have to use is. Try to do the rest of the passage. Now exercise D. Here there are errors in the given sentences. You have to correct the errors and rewrite the sentences. First one, water are the most popular drinks in the world. See, after water they have used are. It's a wrong usage because water is a uncountable noun. We cannot count water. So we have to use only water is. Water is the most popular drink in the world. We cannot use drinks and we cannot use are after water because water is a uncountable noun. We cannot count water. I hope you understood how to complete the textual exercises. So complete the textual exercises. Don't keep it pending. Okay. I hope you understood today's topic clearly. So children, it's time to wind up the session. See you in the next class.